Let me tell you a small story which will slowly explain you what this actually is. So this is a story of three guard dogs. Morris, the dog, was walking past the property one day, and he was suddenly confronted by a large black dog who barked ferociously through the fence at him. "What are you doing?" asked Morris. "I'm guarding this property," responded the black dog. "What are you barking at me for?" asked Morris. "Because you are a threat. Everyone has a potential to break in and steal from me, so I am not taking any risk. I'm barking at everyone." Morris shrugged his shoulders and walked away, thinking about how much energy the black dog was unnecessarily wasting, because Morris never had an intention to be a threat at any point of time. The next day, he walked past the same property, but instead of being confronted by that ferocious black dog, he has met a furry ball, like a fluffy dog. "What happened to the large black dog?" Morris asked. So the fluffy dog said, he annoyed his owner by barking all of the time. So they gave him away and replaced him with me, replied the ball of fluff. "You don't look very scary," observed Morris. "I am not. You never have to worry about me being too angry." "What would you do if someone tried to steal from you?" asked Morris. "Why would anyone try to steal from me? I'm such a nice, cute doggy that no one would ever even take advantage of me." Morris thought for a little while and then walked away, hoping that the little ball of fluff would be okay. The next day, he walked past the same property and was met by the large golden retriever. "What happened to the little ball of fluff?" asked Morris. "Some intruder came last night, and all he did was roll over over the fluffy piece of the fluffy dog, scratched him all around, and then they had to replace the same dog with me." "So what's your strategy for guarding this place?" asked Morris. "I have learned that not everyone's a threat, so there is no point in barking at everyone and keeping them at a distance. But I have also learned that being nice and polite won't always cut it either, as not everyone was my best interest at heart. Others will always know that I'm here, but I feel comfortable enough with myself that I don't need to rant and rave to be heard or look after everyone else's needs to be liked. I'll just be calm and clear when communicating, decreasing the risk of being taken the wrong way." "I think I'll be seeing a lot of you," said Morris, and then went away from there. Let me explain you, the learnings of this particular quick story is that you don't need to be an angry rabbit dog or a delightful ball of fluff to be successful in what you're doing. Instead, learn to express yourself with clarity, honesty, and calmness. If you could understand what exactly the story is trying to explain, this is what assertiveness is all about. So what is assertiveness? So an honest, direct and appropriate expression of one's feeling, thoughts and beliefs. Assertiveness is the ability to communicate your needs, feelings, opinions and beliefs in an open and honest manner without violating the rights of others. It's always important to understand what is not assertiveness, because many times we get confused with that and we think that's what it is. So assertiveness is not a guaranteed way to win any or every argument. Assertiveness is not a guaranteed way to get what you want. Assertiveness is not a way to get others feel like you feel. And assertiveness is not a way to get others to think like you think. And assertiveness is not a way to tell everyone everything all the time. It's important for us to understand what is not assertiveness to make it more clearer. When we talk about the definition of assertiveness, Chambers' dictionary explains something like this: confirming confidently, positively, to defend one's rights or opinions sometimes with a necessary zeal, is what Chambers dictionary talks. Oxford talks about expressing opinions or desires strongly and with confidence so that people take notice, is what assertiveness is all about. Let us understand the benefits that we could derive out of being assertive at everything that we do. There are several benefits. Few would be like, being assertive makes you feel better about yourself. Always, it's very important to feel good in that way. It minimizes any unpleasantness with other people. Being assertive helps have better relationship with others. It reduces stress. Being assertive propels your career ahead. It's an important thing to be part of it in our career, to move ahead there. And this works out wonders when we lead to leadership positions. Right, assertive vaults you into leadership positions. It helps you to adapt to changing social and professional environment. It's very critical to be adaptive always, being flexible with any environment which you are there, with any kind of personal or a professional situations. Being assertive works wonder. Being assertive gives you freedom from guilt, conscience, as you know that you are right. And you put that across in a nice and clear way. So there are numerous benefits. It builds your personality overall, right, and to be a much better person in everything that you do. Now there are different behavioral patterns. Let's try to understand those behavioral patterns and see how this works. You should be in a position to think through where do you stand and how do you work towards being assertive in there. So there are three basic behavior patterns seen in people. The first one is called as aggressive behavior, right? You would have seen people, the way they come, the way they talk, they're always angry. They're like the Hulk kind of people, The second kind is assertive behavior, which we're talking about now. The third one is more of a passive or submissive behavior. So let's understand all these three in little more details. We'll figure out what are these symptoms of being aggressive, being assertive, and also being submissive, and we'll also understand what are those reasons. So the way I want you all to focus here is look at the symptoms, and if these symptoms are something that you have, you need to know what you need to work on, and look at the reasons which propels these symptoms. The symptoms for aggressive behavior are frequently argues with others. You understand? Aggressive behavior, people will always be in that. They enjoy this argument. The frequently, for anything and everything, they think that, okay, arguing with somebody makes a big difference. Frequently, they get angry. In your workplace around you, see how many of people are there. How many times you get angry during your conversations. People who get frequently get angry are following the aggressive behavior. Easily and frequently finds fault with others. I am the best. Everyone else, is not at their, are not good for their job. Is kind of a thing. The moment you start finding faults with everyone and talking about those, these are all symptoms which moves towards the aggressive behavior. No difficulty in complaining when receiving poor quality is an aggressive behavior. Expects others to accommodate own schedule are another symptoms. Always when we are in that, being aggressive is there. Continually work towards personal agendas at others' expenses is also part of the aggressive behavior. Rarely feels aware of the needs or feeling of others are also the symptoms of aggressive behavior. Let's try to understand the reasons behind such kind of behavior. The basic reasons are like satisfying one's own needs, disregard to the needs of others, think of themselves as superior beings, and suffered from a childhood emotional trauma or over correction of being too passive, inappropriately dealing with anger are all the reasons why you will get into this behavior. So the moment you find the symptoms in you, try to figure out what are the reasons. As if you know these are the reasons for which your behavior is turning like that, it is easier for you to work on your own skill and come towards being assertive. Now let's understand what is assertive behavior is all about and what are the symptoms of being assertive. Able to express desires and feeling, right? We all have a lot of desires and feelings, but how many of us are able to express it correctly or express it really what exactly it is. Like when you say something, are the people understanding what the message is, or they're getting different meanings out of it? Able to converse and work well with people, right? How am I with the people whom I'm working with? Am I doing proper conversations? Is my working style good? Are people comfortable with me? When these things happen, these are all the symptoms, right? Able to disagree with others respectfully, right? Being assertive doesn't mean that you are okay with everything or everybody should listen to you, right? It is fine, because when we are discussing something, you agree to few things, you disagree to few things, but are we agreeing and disagreeing to the point or to the person is important. So you need to understand how are you able to disagree with others respectfully. These are if you are able to do this, it's a good symptom to be. Aware of the needs and desires of others. If you are aware, it works. Able to make concession for others, like you can think about those people, you can accommodate their feelings and their emotions in your conversations, right? And able to express a concern or a need, able to refuse a request without feeling guilty. If you are able to do these things, then your symptoms are towards assertive behavior. The reasons basically why it happens: satisfy one's own needs, keeping consideration of others in mind. The second one, think of themselves as confident and right begins. Have no fear of rejection, right? When you do not have a fear of rejection, that's wonderful thing to be in, right? Because I think the biggest fear what people have in their life is fear of rejection. Have appropriate inner voices. Do not believe in being too passive or too aggressive, right? So that's what assertiveness is all about. Being not being very, very aggressive and not being very, very passive. Being achieving that balance in your conversations is how this works. Have the right way and attitude towards dealing with angry is how it works. The third one, which I was talking about, was the passive or submissive behavior. Symptoms for these are reluctant to express own opinions and feelings. Right? You might find many people in your workplace and your organization around who you know that they know things, but they're very reluctant to talk, right? They are in towards that. Or you are very reluctant to express many a times your own opinions and feeling. You need to understand that you're slowly moving towards the submissive behavior. You need to come towards being assertive. Often feels used by others. Refrain from complaining, finds it difficult to refuse the requests of others, acquiesces in the views and desires of the majority, is submissive in the presence of aggressive behavior, right? These are few symptoms which shows that you are working towards there, right? It could also be frequently makes compromises for harmony. Right. These are few of these symptoms which shows that you're moving towards being submissive or passive behavior that you're displaying. The basic reasons for this is fear of rejection, fear of upsetting others, feels responsible, inappropriate inner voices are few of the reasons why you would have such behavior. People who are passive are the nice guys. These nice guys appear generous, flexible, and extremely polite. However, underneath the surface, they are helpless, anxious, and have a resentful core. So you should stop being forever a nice guy to avoid all your pent-up resentments from being pushed around to come out in an unexpected outburst of anger and violence. Keep that in mind. So let's also understand right now what are those elements of assertive communication and how does it really work. So the elements which I'm talking about was number 1, soft assertion, number 2, basic assertion, number 3, empathetic assertion, number 4, escalating assertion, and number 5, confrontation assertion. Let's understand each one in little detail. Soft assertion is a kind of statement that does not require any action or anything of the listener. For example, a t-shirt with Save Wales written on it does not demand any action from you, but lets you know the stand of the position wearing it, right? When I wear that t-shirt, I just stand to that position. Basic assertion is more of a simple statement conveying that you want what you want out of a situation. Simplicity is the key of this kind of assertion. For example, I don't want to work on this weekend. Empathetic assertion is the most effective type of assertion one can make. In such an assertion, you try to understand how the other person may feel. For example, I know what you may be feeling, you may be feeling frustrated after trying to find the data through many attempts, but I just don't want to leave any stone unturned. Right? When I pass a message like this, it's more of an empathetic assertion. The next one is escalating assertion. An escalating assertion is the kind of assertion that has a specific consequence attached to it. For example, if you get this proposal accepted, I will see to it that you get a hike in the forthcoming review. It's an escalating assertion display. Confrontation assertion. A confrontation assertion is a type of statement which is made when a mutual agreement has been violated. For example, we had decided to complete the quarterly reports by end of the day on Friday. Since that has not happened, we'll have to work over the weekend.